Hi, hello, привет, Barev. Welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a while, but we are back with so many knitting finished objects, or at least I consider them to be a lot. I don't know, I feel like I've been busy. I've been a busy gal. So much has happened in these last couple of non-filming months. For instance, I experienced my first knitting rut. Okay, let's start with what I am wearing, what caused said knit rut. The Air Tee by Ozetta. I have such a love-hate relationship with this shirt. I can't stop wearing it. It is so comfy, so soft, so that's wonderful. But oh my goodness, it was a struggle to get through. So that was not fun. I will put up a picture of the back of the shirt to show you why I wanted to knit it up. I am obsessed with that back panel. I feel like I probably should have sized up. I know that I measured myself correctly. I feel like in the sample that is knit up or that is photographed, I don't know, it has more positive ease than I would say the pattern calls for. So if you are looking to knit this up, I would definitely size one up if you want that like baggy t-shirt vibe that I was definitely going for. But I'm not complaining because I did not want to use up more yarn and I really wanted this project to be over with. So the yarn that I used is easily my favorite part of this project. I used the Farmer's Daughter Foxy Lady yarn, which is their light fingering weight, in the color Gary Cooper. It is so soft. It is wool with silk and it just feels so lush. I feel so fancy every time I wear it. And I got it because I really wanted a local Montana yarn to kind of commemorate my little trip here in Montana. And I'm glad I did. I don't think I would again because holy smokes. I mean, it's local and just hand-dyed in general is gonna be more expensive. So, you know, buy at your own risk. It was $30 a skein and this was a $60 t-shirt, which is really expensive, but it's really soft. So that's about it on the things that I liked. I mean, I like the outcome of the shirt, obviously, because I keep wearing it. I feel like the length is like this perfect, cute little cropped length, and it's so nice, so airy. I did not find this pattern very fun. I did see a lot of people saying that there were a lot of ends to weave in, and I was like, oh, I don't mind weaving in ends. That's a lie. That's a lie. I do mind when it's that many. Yeah, I really mind. The back panel is knit first and there are so many ends. If I'm not mistaken, it's like bottom half of the back panel, then top half of the back panel, and then you have ends like everywhere, and you have just knit a rectangle. You just knit up a little rectangle and you have a bunch of ends to weave in. Now, I understand-ish. I mean, I don't write patterns, so this does seem like a complicated pattern to write because as we're knitting the back rectangular panel, we're also doing some shoulder shaping and a little bit of arm shaping. So the outcome is gorgeous. I think that if you have knit several t-shirts already and you want something that's a little more advanced or maybe a little more of a challenging knit, I would say this is a great pattern. I don't know, I really do like the outcome. I'm gonna put up a picture of what my back looks like because not great is how I would describe that back. I don't know what happened. So we do have a provisional cast on, but that wasn't the issue. The front turned out pretty okay. I think once I connected the front and the back, it wasn't like the tension wasn't that crazy. In the back, I was knitting so loose. I don't know why. If I'm being like fully transparent, it's probably because I was just really over it and wanted to just be done. There's a lot going on in this pattern and I thought that it would be simpler than it was. I'm not sure why I thought that. It just is a lot of work for a t-shirt in my opinion. So I don't think that I'll be revisiting it anytime soon. I did also, I think, make it a little more challenging in the sense that I used a light fingering weight yarn and the pattern suggests a heavy fingering weight yarn, so that wasn't fun. I was knitting with tiny needles and I did not have a fun time. Obviously these are all like issues with me and not with Ozetta, because I am obsessed with a lot of her patterns and I will definitely be knitting a bunch of her other patterns in the future. Things that I loved about this: the neck shaping. It was really fun and I don't know, I just think it turned out so beautiful. The seamless bit where it connects into the shoulders, chef's kiss, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so unique. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of effort and I don't think I was ready for that effort. I'm generally a relatively like monogamous knitter. So this was kind of all that I had on the needles at the time. Generally, I like to have a little pair of socks to have something on smaller needles, but because this was already on really small needles, I didn't really want to be knitting socks. I kept putting this project like right in my line of sight so that every morning I could see it and be like, yeah, I know I need to work on this, but I don't want to. It was a first for many things. I did my first I-cord bind off fully everywhere, the hem, the sleeves, the neckline. Honestly, love it. I was a little worried with the hem rolling up because I did see a couple people saying that that was a problem that they had and they had to do a rib bind off at the bottom, and I did not like how that turned out. So glad that the I-cord bind off worked out just fine. Blocking does wonders. Ooh, I love blocking a project because I feel like it transforms like everything you've worked on and it just relaxes it and looks so great. I don't have my blocking mats with me, so I think I maybe could have stretched this shirt out a little more. I think I might when I do get my blocking mats back, but I think it turned out super cute. I blocked it just on a towel and I did pin down the hem just into the towel and it turned out fine. So yeah, if you're worried about an I-cord bind off for t-shirts, don't be. Blocking is key. That's the air tee. It's worked top down. You would think that it's simple because it's a t-shirt, but it is not. It took me a whole month to finish this and I was not having fun. When I saw other people talking about knitting rods, I was like, couldn't be me. I would never. I don't know why. But this one did it. It took the cake. So thank you, air tee. I was so happy to be done with it and I was a little worried that like my desire for knitting would not be as strong, but don't you worry your little head about that. I still love knitting. Rewinding back to the other things I knit. Right after knitting my pink sweater from the last video, I knit up the Ole or Ula or Ol, like good old Mittens by Suzanne Mueller. Hopefully saying that right. These, oh, they're beautiful. I freaking love them. I chose this pattern because of the gorgeous thumb gusset detail and no regrets. I love it so freaking much. Now, these are very, I would say like fancy night out type of mittens for me, just because of the yarn that I picked for it. I used a skein of Ito Sensei's silk mohair in pale blush, held together with a fingering weight hand-dyed yarn by Salty Blonde Fiber in the color Cream and Jam. It looks like I only used about half a skein-ish, and that was her cashmere fingering weight yarn. So I've got cashmere, I've got silk mohair, it's lush, it's so fancy. I am very pleased with how these turned out. They are so freaking cute. This is my first time knitting in a half fisherman rib / half brioche rib. Are those the same? because they're used interchangeably in the pattern. So I'd like to know if those are actually the same thing. But regardless, I knit this up in, it's a half brioche stitch, which is so beautiful. Also my first time doing a half brioche, and holy smokes, it's so squishy. Like, it's so soft and so squishy and so just fun. I love it. I'm definitely knitting this up again, but without mohair, because mohair gets all up in my nose every time. We're gonna go non-mohair next time. And I think that this pattern is just so gorgeous that it'll look, you know, just as beautiful without mohair. I did have some issues with the increases here. I think that you might be able to tell right here in the initial gusset increases. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So the increases are super janky in the beginning, but like if anybody's looking at my palm that closely, then that's their problem. So I'm not worried about that. By the time that I figured out how to do the increases, I mean, I didn't want to go back, because with half brioche, I don't really know how to pick up stitches and like go back in a seamless way. It looked much more complicated. I didn't feel like doing it, and I think they turned out just adorable, so I'm fine with it. I think that they're super warm, they're super cute. I do think that if it's genuinely a cold day out, I'd probably be wearing like liner gloves and then these on top. I'm thinking it would probably be more useful to knit fingerless gloves with like a detachable mitten cover, you know, like the little mitten hat piece that you can get on some glove mittens. I don't know if they have a name. They're kind of like a blend of the two, but I feel like I'd get more use out of that. But yeah, I definitely want to knit a non-mohair version because I do love the half brioche stitch and obsessed with the thumb gusset increase. I feel like it really elevates a mitten. Looks really fancy. Pleased with it. I'd say 10 out of 10 on the mittens. I then knit up the weekend hat by Petite Knit. I am so obsessed. I have worn this hat so many times. I love that it kind of like stands on its own. Very cute. Very adorable. I chose this to be like the first beanie that I knit because I really liked the decreases. I hope that you can see them. I liked the decreases, that's it. It's literally it. Oh, and the triple fold brim. That is so squishy and warm. And as we have established, I love squishy. This is a great beanie if you have never knit anything before and you want to start. I definitely see why people start with beanies. Super quick, super easy, and it makes me want to try color work on a beanie first. So if you have a beanie color work pattern that you really like, please let me know. I really want to do that. Been wearing it like a bunch up in here in Montana when the weather gets cold. I also just came back from camping in Glacier National Park and I wore it a bunch there, and it was chilly and windy, and this kept my little ears warm. After the beanie, I knit up this t-shirt. Put me in a slump, made me real sad, but I wore it a bunch, so I decided that I would knit up a faux lace cami. I saw this tank by Florence and I love it. I'm obsessed with the pattern. I've worn this quite a bit and I've got quite a bit to say about it. So let's have a chat about the Petal Drop Camisole by Florence. It is worked bottom up, so my very first bottom up garment, and I thought that I would really hate it. I don't. I liked the directions a lot. I think the pattern is written really, really well. She explains like lengthwise how much you're about to get before you do waist shaping. So if you want to make it longer, you can. I don't believe I made it any longer than it asked. I chose an interesting yarn and I don't like it. Actually, I kind of hate the yarn. Except I don't mind how it feels like on the body. That part's nice. It's nice and airy. Other than that, can't stand the yarn. I knit this with Laine de Nord cotton silk tweed in the color 8868. My very first cotton blend knit up, and I don't like knitting with cotton silk at all. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, silk is the one that splits, or kind of like the reason the yarn splits so much. That was not great, but I didn't like loathe it for that. That was fine. The thing that I really didn't like was swatching. So I made 2 different swatches with 2 different needle sizes for this because I wanted to make sure that I got it right. It's meant to have negative ease, and I was just like, cool, I'm gonna size down on these needles. This looks right-ish, but then when I go to block the swatch, it just kind of like flattened and had no memory, because cotton has none memory. And I really hate that, like a lot. It was not fun. I did not like the unpredictability with blocking. So pattern-wise, gorgeous, beautiful. I love it. It was such an addicting 4-row repeat for the lace, and it's just, I do think it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I will definitely like 100% be knitting this in a non-cotton yarn. I want to say the fit turned out fine. Not perfect, but fine. It is, I will put up a picture of how it sits. So straight on, it's not bad. In this side photo, you can see the waist shaping increases that I did, and I love that. But if you can see, like, especially in this back armhole bit, there's a bit of gaping, and it's meant to have negative ease. That's not negative ease. Blocking it, it was so baggy. Like, I genuinely thought that it was just gonna be a shirt that I wore like around the house while doing some cleaning. Like, it just was not a leave the house type of tank. And it was really making me sad. I remembered that a bunch of people had said that shortening the straps kind of does the job. So I undid the I-cord bind off for the sleeves and the neckline and shortened the straps up by like half. And I'm pleased. I'm pleased with how it fits now. I think it's super cute. I just don't like cotton. The unpredictability, it's crazy. It also kind of has this feeling, I know that it's got silk in it, and I know it's meant to feel like lush or more lush than just cotton. It just kind of feels like a dish rag, and I don't love that. And it also takes forever to dry. That was also really annoying with blocking, because I had to wait so long sitting there looking at this thing that has 0 memory and is not bouncing back to its like what it looked like pre-blocking. So love the pattern though. I think the pattern was great. I don't think I'll ever use the yarn again. I am at least interested in cotton wool blends. I feel like some memory might be okay. I don't know. I'm intrigued by those because I see that quite a bit. I'm definitely not just a plant-based yarn type of girl. Now I'm a little confused. The pattern calls for fingering weight yarn. I definitely used sport weight yarn. Turned out okay. That could also be the fitting problem, is using the sport weight yarn. Couldn't tell you why I thought that was fine. I kind of figured that if I just swatched it, it would be fine, but noted to not do that again. I like this shirt a lot. I would like more full waist top suggestions if you guys have any that you really like, or anything with a little more intrigue. I did see the Ingrid top by Gregoria Fibers. That is so pretty. That's beautiful. Also, it's knit up in sport weight, which is cool. A little bit of a faster knit, hopefully. And then there's the Summer Ella Solo by Lay Knit. I think that's super cute too. I could see that becoming like an everyday top. Another really big one is the Margot top by Gregoria Fibers. I seem to like a lot of her summer knits, so I think I'll try that next. So that is it for finished objects. Now let's talk about what I have on my needles, and we can talk about yarn, we can talk about notions that I've bought recently. So very first one, it's just a small one. It's a reknit of a simple ribbed sock that I finished like a couple months ago, and it's this gorgeous hand-dyed yarn by Salty Blonde Fiber in the colorway Burn Book. For some reason, when I knit it up, used one needle size larger than I normally do. So I just used 2mm US 0 needles for my socks, and I find that the fit is perfect for that. For some reason, when I first knit these up, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'm just a different knitter now. All of a sudden, they were too wide. I had a tiny heel, And so every time I wore them, I would take like 3 steps and they would just slip off. And I don't like that. I want them to be wearable. So I unwound it. I've got my little curly unwound skein and knitting up my first sock. Now, could not tell you where this pink yarn went. So I did purchase some fingering weight yarn that I will show you later. And it probably won't match. I may also just pair it with random fingering weight yarn that I have laying around because it's just a heel and a toe and nobody's gonna be looking at my heels and toes when I'm wearing shoes. I'm excited to have a pair that I will actually be wearing. So yeah, because I kept trying to wear them and they just weren't working. I'm currently wearing my Mercury socks that I knit for myself. I'll put up a picture of a side view. Do you see that tiny heel? I think that it works fine in the Mercury socks. The lace is fine, like it's okay. It doesn't bother me. They don't slip off, so it's okay. But I don't have a tiny heel. I need more of a heel. So I need to get in the habit of knitting an actual heel instead of whatever the heck I've been doing for myself lately. Excited to be working on this. I did recently buy myself a new pair of super cute loafers. So I need more hand knit socks that I can wear with my loafers because that is adorable. The next thing that I have on the needles, it is a gift knit. And I have committed to so many gift knits. I didn't think that I'd be doing this many gift knits, but I am excited for them. I feel like I've knit a decent amount for myself. I've got yarn for myself for future me, so I'm excited for that. Yeah, let's talk about the champagne cardigan that I'm knitting for my friend Summer. Okay, so we have gotten relatively far in this. I am obsessed with this color. As you can see, it is held, I don't know if you can see, but it is held with mohair. I am knitting with a Juniper Moon Farm DK weight held together with this Ita Sensei silk mohair and cherry blossom. I think it's so cute. The combination together gives this like muted pinky color. It brings so much joy to knit with pink. So pleased with that. It's such a fast knit. It's a raglan. I have not knit a raglan in a while. I feel like everything lately has been drop shoulder for me. So I had a great time knitting up the raglan and it turned out wonderful, perfect, easy. It's got a double knit rib for the band, so I'm excited to do that. Luckily, my friend is an extra small, which means less yarn. I'm having a fun time. It's a fast knit. I'm working on the body of this now. It's like super easy. It's just back and forth, back and forth. She also wanted it to be a little more cropped, slightly below the natural waistline. So it's gonna be so cute. And I'm so excited to show you guys the finished project. I'm planning on ordering some buttons off of Etsy. We're probably gonna go for some cute wooden buttons. I feel like that would be so adorable with this. I'm going to send a couple of button options for her cardigan to her home, and whatever she picks out is what we'll use, and then whatever she doesn't, I'll have for myself because I love buttons and I need some more cardigans for myself anyway. Currently on my needles, champagne cardigan. I think that I should be able to finish this pretty quickly. Yeah. I'm hoping, I don't know if it's bold, it is now Monday. I feel like I could have this done by the end of the week. Is that crazy? Maybe. The double knit band might take a little longer, but it also might not. So I don't know. I want to go over projects that are going to be coming up afterwards. I feel like I'm now looking at the yarn. I was about to say all the yarn was bought with intention, but that is a lie. So I'd say most of it was bought with intention, so that's nice. At the same time that I bought the pink yarn for Summer's sweater, she picked out this absolutely stunning Madeline Tosh hand-dyed DK yarn. Holy smokes, beautiful. She was thinking between this and the Juniper Moon Farms pink and kind of trying to figure out like what she would wear more, and also because it's a hand knit cardigan, a little pop of color could be fun. She ended up going with the pink. It was a close call, and it really helped me and my bank account that they only had 2 of these in the store, and I don't believe that they were able to reorder it. So thank you so much, local yarn shop, for not for not having this yarn, because as we know, hand-dyed yarn expensive, but also, I mean, look at how beautiful. She wants a weekend hat out of this. This is in the color glazed pecan. That is a glazed pecan. Ooh, yumma. That is so pretty. She wants a weekend hat out of this, and like, it's gonna have so much more dimension because it's hand dyed, and it's gonna be so gorgeous. It's gonna be beautiful. Given the amount of projects that I have going on, this will probably be a side project, similar to how I generally have socks on my needles. This will just be like, in lieu of socks, I'll just knit up a beanie. I'll get to it when I get to it. It's not as pressing as the cardigan. So yeah, that's this yarn. And then at the same time, I saw this yarn and I thought, gorgeous, why don't I buy myself a skein as well? This is, I can't get over how beautiful these yarns are. Also the DK, also Madeline Tosh. This is in the color Sabine. It's like this blue steel colorway. It's gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I want to knit up a beanie out of this. I haven't knit AJ a beanie yet, and I'm thinking this as like a base for a colorwork beanie, or maybe as part of a colorwork beanie. I know that he would not mind just a solid colorwork beanie either, but we will see. I need to find a good colorwork beanie pattern, and I know that I can add a folded brim to any pattern, but that's been kind of the biggest hang up that I've had, is a lot of colorwork beanies don't have a folded brim, and we both like a folded brim. So again, if you have any colorwork beanie options, please let me know. I have yarn that I would love to use for it. I've got a little bit of this yarn left, which I don't believe I said what this was. This is San Nisgarn Double Sunday in, I think, the petite knit colorway croissant. Cute, love it. So I've got a little bit of this left that I could use, maybe. I don't know. Let me know if you have any good colorwork patterns. I'm thinking stranded colorwork, a Fair Isle-esque pattern for my first colorwork would be great. That's the plan for these two. The biggest purchase was the Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock worsted weight, and I bought enough to make myself a champagne cardigan, and I'm not holding mohair because I'm sick of mohair right now. I really need like a basic cardigan that I could just throw on and go. Another thing, which I didn't buy yarn for this yet, but I really want to reknit my April cardigan. Let's have a moment of enjoyment on how gorgeous that thing was since I lost it last year. It goes so pretty with like summer dresses and just like a cute summer fit. I think that I will knit up with mohair because it just makes it look more delicate, and I want to have one for my sister's wedding in October, so maybe that'll happen at some point. I might get to it, I might not, but it's not currently in my projects that I'm knitting, so we'll see. Definitely gonna knit myself a cardigan of some sort, so excited for that. I did get some cute little buttons from Michael's or Joann's, and I feel like a little tortoiseshell button with a driftwood color cardigan would look really cute and very like nice and basic. I then bought this, which was an impulse buy. I don't know what to do with it. It is by 6 and 7 Fiber, which I believe is a local Colorado dyer, if I'm not mistaken. Now it says 6 soybean base, but I don't think that that is their fingering weight yarn, because I couldn't find it online. So it's just their fingering weight yarn. It's not superwash. It's just 100% merino wool. It's so beautiful. Now it is not self-striping. I thought that it might be. One of the girls was actually, she had a whip that she was working on at the shop that I bought it at, and it has a self-striping-ish vibe, like not strong stripes, but very cute. Very cute. Now they did only have one, so I only have 400-ish yards, I want to say. Yeah, 436 yards, 100 gram skein. They only had one, I only bought one, so single skein fingering weight project that you may have would be swell. I've been looking into potentially knitting like bralettes or just like bras in general. Now I don't know if I actually want to do that because like it's not gonna see the light of day, but I know I have enough yarn for it. So if you have any ideas on what I could do with a single skein of fingering weight yarn, let me know. So I bought a collection of mini skeins in the colorway Spring Garden by Maker Wool. Just fingering mini set, and it is a sock set because it's got some nylon in it, I believe. Yes, it's a sock set. The original plan was to get it for the heel of this because it's got pink. Now this is like a dusty rose and that is like a bright baby pink. I may or may not use it for that because I think that this could be really fun for either a striped sock, a colorwork sock. Like that's such a fun colorway. I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet, but I think it'd be fun to actually like use up all these colors for a pattern. It's 435 yards, so I know that it'll be enough for a pair of socks. I don't know, that could be cute. Another pattern that I want to make, which I know we're getting like crazy here. We're wanting too many things, but I can't help it. I'm like constantly thinking of the next thing that I want to knit. The Tombow tee by Florence. I love that. I love a good classic striped tee. I don't think that I would want it in this colorful of a stripe because I don't see myself wearing it as often. So I think that I just want to get like a navy blue with beige or navy blue with white. We'll see. That Tombow tee is happening at some point, but I have this. I kind of feel like these two are probably going to live in my stash for a hot second. This might go into a just striped sock, so might just do that. This one, unless you guys come up with a good idea for a one skein fingering weight. I'm not opposed to the bralettes, so if you have one that you have knit before and you like, let me know. In terms of like what I'm gonna knit in which order, we're going to go the champagne cardigan that I'm knitting for my friend, and then right after, because my granny's birthday is in June and we're in June. Her birthday is towards like the end-ish of this month, and I probably like 99% won't have this project done in time, but that is a-okay because I'm planning on knitting the Lana vest for my granny. I'm so excited. Now, the reasoning behind knitting this project is because my granny, one, amazing woman. I love her. We love her. Everybody loves her. She is just like an absolute gem. She also like never asks for anything. And so the Mercury socks, I had knit her, I want to say over the knee or like at the knee Mercury socks last year when I was knitting the family socks. And she loves them, she cherishes them, but it doesn't seem like she wears them very often because she said that every time she goes to wear them, she just kind of like, she does this thing where she like picks them up and like touches them because she easily has like the softest ones. I want to make her something that she wants and also that she'll actually wear. And I was so happy when she landed on this. And the reasoning that she likes, it covers the shoulders, which she loves. And she wants it to be longer, so the length that is kind of on the model, that's about how long she wants it. I'm excited to be knitting a cable knit again. And it's knit up in Aran. And she initially thought that she would want a gray because it's kind of neutral, goes with everything. And then I showed her a blue project that I had seen on Ravelry and she was like, ooh, I want blue. So I saw this Noro beauty. It's the Noro Malvinas 100% wool, 300 meters. And it's got like this very pretty speckled tweed. The yarn itself has like a thick and thin vibe going about it. The way that it's spun is beautiful, and I mean, it's gorgeous. She picked out this color. It's, I would say, like an indigo. It's in the color Midnight or 34 if you are curious. And I think this is so perfect for her because it's like a purplish blue, and purple is one of her favorite colors. So I'm so excited to knit this up. So the plan is going to be champagne cardigan and then Lana vest for Granny, somehow knit by the end of June. I don't know if that's happening. I don't know, because I have made too many promises and too many commitments, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a good thing I love knitting because I'm not stressed. So the plan is to knit up the champagne cardigan. I will be going back to Colorado, I want to say the 15th or the 17th of June. So that's when I'll be gifting the champagne cardigan. So I'm hoping to have that done by then. As soon as I'm done with that, I'm starting the Lana vest for my granny. And I am like so delusional and hoping that it's a quick knit because it's an Aran weight, but it's also going to be a larger size than I normally knit, and I mean, it's gonna be cabling, so it's just probably gonna be like a lot, but it's so beautiful. And I really want to knit myself a matching one. I think that would be so freaking cute. It's by Irene Lynn, and I haven't knit anything by them before, so excited. I've also committed to knitting my brother a pair of ribbed socks. That will be like no big. I knit him a 3x1 ribbed sock for Christmas in black, and turns out he wears his socks all the time, which makes me so happy. Yay, thank you. I love that. He chose a navy blue, so I'm gonna pick up a navy blue fingering weight yarn. I had asked him like, hey, do you want maybe like a different pattern? I did a 3x1 rib. How would you feel like about a 2x2? Or like, I don't know, something more exciting. And he was just like, I'm literally never looking at the pattern. It's just a sock, so I'm just gonna do whatever I want. It'll probably just be a variation of a ribbed sock. Might do like a twisted rib because I've been a little interested in how a twisted rib knits up. So that is going to be for his birthday, which is July 5th. So I'm hoping I have the Lana vest and a pair of fingering weight ribbed socks done in a month for my granny's birthday. That way I'll just ship it off all in one. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. And I know that like nobody cares about timing, but I'm also thinking like ahead of like, okay, but I also want to be knitting all these projects for myself. I wanted to briefly talk about a couple little notions that I bought. I got myself these adorable little roller skating needle holders. Love that. I got these little tulip needle holders that fit on US size 0, which is so huge. I just bought these little alpaca tags, and I'm excited to add them to a beanie. This I bought with Summer, so when we were looking at her beanie, I think that we'll go with the darker or the mid beige alpaca boy. And then I thought if I knit a beanie on this, I could use like a lighter alpaca. Now, I feel slightly like a fraud because I'm not using alpaca for either of the projects that I'm planning on using the tags on, but I don't know. When the weather clears up, I really want to do more of these knitting podcast episodes outdoors. I'm hoping that my next one is going to be outside. This is my 3rd time filming this video and I'm indoors. I tried twice outside and it did not work. I worked on a lot of this while on our road trip / camping in Glacier National Park, and I love that. I feel like this cardigan will now hold memories of everywhere I was when knitting it. I want to film these episodes outdoors. I want to have some nice b-roll footage because I got such cute b-roll footage in Glacier Park, and I didn't end up filming there because it was just way too windy and it was not it. Thank you so much for watching. That is all I have for you today, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye. Bye.